Oh, mate, honestly, it was just a grit down, hard on the mouth guard, and just try and get a win. We weren't very good.
That was one of the reasons that I was crying.
It's been so great, but it's been so stressful as well. I've not really known where I'd be, if I'd be coming back on this series again.
When he gets angry in training, that it's 1% of the time that we train. For some reason, maybe he gets angry, but usually he doesn't get angry. But to have it in our team, it's really good. And outside the pitch, he's a teddy bear. He's like.
How's it? Harry McNulty here for another episode of HSBC Life on Tour, where we go in behind the scenes, we meet the players, and we learn what life is like traveling the world on the HSBC Sevens series. We are here in the Lion City, Singapore, for the 6th stop on the HSBC 7 series, and we've managed to drag ourselves away from the long bar, put down our Singapore slings, and convince Reneeqa Bonner from Team GB and Marcus Moneta from Argentina to join us today. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Harry. That was really good.
I've been practicing.
Okay, great.
How are we feeling? It's been a tough week. Last week in the Cathay HSBC Hong Kong Sevens, and now you're rested, feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good.
Feeling really good, yeah.
Well, you've got a lot to feel good about. We'll get there. We are in the 71st floor of the Swiss Hotel de Stamford. The view is incredible. Right behind us, we have the National Stadium here in Singapore. It's phenomenal. I know, Reneeqa, you haven't played in it before.
Yeah.
What are you expecting this weekend?
I'm hoping that it's really air-conned. I've heard that it is.
It is.
Yeah, because I don't think I'd be able to play in this humidity, but yeah.
It is. It's really good.
It's an amazing stadium.
Yeah. It's really good stadium. The pitch also is amazing. The grass, it's a really good stadium.
I'm looking forward to watching from the sideline this weekend, not having to run around. Hong Kong as a series is always talked about being one of the biggest, the best. How was that week just in general? We were in the new Kai Tak Sports Park. There was a lot to talk about, a lot to see, a lot to hear, a lot to feel. What was that like for you, Reneeqa?
It was great. I don't think I've ever played in a stadium that big before, with an atmosphere like that. So it's crazy. The South Stand was great as well. I've never experienced anything like that. And as well, just like the general engagement from all of the fans is just great as well. So yeah.
True rugby fans. They're there for most of the day, supporting all of the teams and really shouting. And there was a strong Argentinian contingent down in the bottom of that South Stand, I saw.
Yes. It was a really nice atmosphere. Always Hong Kong does it really good. And yeah, it was. There were some Argentinian guys, and also there were a lot of local people that were with the Argentinian kid. So that was amazing. It was incredible, and the support that we felt there was really good.
And you were named HSBC Player of the Final. A huge moment because last year you suffered an injury in the tournament. And how was that for you? One of your biggest accolades for this season so far?
Yeah. It was a really nice tournament, a really nice final day. As you said, last year I broke my fibula there, and it wasn't so good. Hong Kong brings me to a mix of emotions because I got my debut here. Also that year I got intoxicated. I managed to play anyways. And then also last year I broke my fibula, but that sort of things you start thinking when you arrive to Hong Kong, when you see the same hotel, the same beaches where you train. Now there's a new stadium, so when I realized that I was always telling to the boys, new stadium, new history, and it was an amazing day. And in the anthem, you think of all of that sort of things that passes through your head. Last year, injured on and also what is Hong Kong for us, for the HSBC Sevens, for our coaches, that they love it because they know that it's a historic tournament. So it was an amazing. I think that it was all perfect.
It's all perfect. And Reneeqa, for you, this is your first year on the series. What's been standing out to you in terms of the whole season? Has there been some highs, some lows? Has there been anything that stood out to you?
Definitely. I think this is Singapore will be my 4th tournament as a whole. So Dubai and Cape Town, I think we were 4th and 5th on the table, and now we're sitting 8th, which is really close to the being relegated, which doesn't feel that nice. So yeah, we didn't have the best of tournaments in Hong Kong, but we're lucky enough to have Singapore as a double leg as well, so we can hopefully redeem ourselves and get more points and be a bit higher.
And what have you been enjoying about the opportunity to travel all around the world on the series?
It's amazing. I think the countries that I've been to, especially like Hong Kong and Singapore, I don't think I would choose to travel to those myself. So getting the opportunity to travel to new countries and explore the cultures as well is amazing.
Have you had a chance to, well, you only got in yesterday, but have you had a chance to even think about exploring the city, checking it out? The food here is amazing. Do you have any sort of ideas or itinerary that you'd like to try and take off while you're here?
No, I kind of just go with the flow, follow what the girls are doing. If they're going out, I'll tag along with a few of them because I don't really know much about Singapore either. It's my first time here.
Fantastic. Well, there's so
Sentosa.
much to do. Sentosa Island.
You have to go to Sentosa Island. If you have a extra day on Monday, you can go because you are going to. It's not for you have to walk a lot. There's
really?
some nice things to do. It's like a
It's like an adventure
yeah,
island.
Oh, okay.
So zip lining,
Oh,
go-karting,
Yeah.
downhill,
a fake wave.
fake wave, bungee jumping if you feel inclined to do it, and basically everything in between.
yeah.
And it's not that far from here. It's really, really great fun.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do here.
Yeah, definitely.
And then exploring the streets. Obviously, I know it's hot, it's humid, but the architecture here
Great.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's Chinatown and all the different cultures everywhere that you go. It's every corner is absolutely beautiful. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend if you get the chance, go out and have a look. So Argentina. It's been a great season. I know we've chatted about it before, but what is the secret that lets you guys repeat every tournament, every game, just showcasing the best? What is the secret to it?
I think that there is not a big secret. We play together a very long time ago. The same coaches are like, I think that Santi and Leo started on before Rio, and they are still here. Some players played Rio, like Santi Alvarez, Germán Schulz, and a lot of players played Tokyo and Paris. And I think that helps you a lot. And as I also think that one of the key of our team is how our relationship. But outside of the field, mainly, we know each other really good, and also that helps you inside the field, and also to work. When you win, it's really hard because when you work, when you lose, your mistakes are you can correct a lot of things, but to correct things when you win and you win and you win, it's really hard. So I think that Santi and Leo Gravano are doing a really good job there. And I don't know, we love playing. We enjoy what we do, and we have a lot of fun inside the pitch. I think that there's no secret, and other one that's to work and work and work.
So speaking of winning, I know we have this week in Singapore. Last year in Madrid, it didn't go the way that you wanted, and now we have the HSBC World Championship in LA this year. Is that a really big goal for Argentina?
Yes, it's a really big goal. First, we have to secure our first place in Singapore. But yeah, it's something that of course we want to win. We want to win all what we can, and also is being first in the annual league makes you want to win it more than the World Championship in Los Angeles. But now we're focusing 100% in Singapore because we have a really good opportunity of doing history one more year, and then when it finishes Singapore, we're going to think in LA.
I have to ask, well, I kind of know myself, but is Lucho Gonzalez as scary as he looks? Are you glad he's on your team?
Training with him, it's when he gets angry in training that it's 1% of the time that we train. For some reason maybe he gets angry, but usually he doesn't get angry. But to have it in our team, it's really good. And outside the pitch, he's a teddy bear. He's like, it's a really good guy.
He's a big friendly giant.
Yeah.
Reneeqa, is there anyone in the women's series who's scary to come up against, scary to tackle, or do you not think about it?
I try not to think about it, but Jade Sheckles, obviously she's not here, but she's an amazing player. She's so strong, so I just wouldn't want her running at me. But yeah, she's so great, so strong.
Fair enough. There's been so many athletes that have come through the series in the last season or so. I'm glad I retired. Put it that way. I'm happy to be sitting here now because I do not want to be running into half of them anymore. I wouldn't be able to keep up. Reneeqa, you've been in the Bristol Bears, you got to the semi-finals of the PWR, you've been in Red Rose's camp, and then on Instagram you said that you love Portia Woodman and the player that she is. Is that someone that you're trying to emulate when you play and take a lot of inspiration from?
Yeah, definitely. Every aspect of her game is just incredible, and I'm so gutted that she retired last year and she's not on the series now because I would just absolutely be fangirling over her. I think she's so amazing, so strong, so powerful, and if I could have an ounce of that in how I play, I'd be so happy.
I'm jealous of her. She's
Yeah.
one of the goats.
Yeah,
I wish I
yeah.
had an ounce of what she was able to do on the
Yeah.
field. At just overall everything.
Amazing.
Power,
Yeah.
speed,
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Just such a phenomenal player.
Yeah, she's so good.
Well, going from people you don't want to run into to people that you could probably never get near to, we spoke to Matt Giteau last week in Hong Kong.
And I'm joined today with Matt Giteau to talk all things rugby, sevens, as well as 15s. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Pleasure to be here, mate.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I
to
love
see
when
again.
you ask me questions. It's good seeing you.
It's great to see you.
Last time I seen you would have been, what, Dubai? And then
Dubai.
before that, when we played together at Giltini's.
Exactly.
Mm.
Always a good time.
Always a good time. You got very nervous in Giltini's days, didn't you?
Well-
Shifting first time from 7s to 15s.
Yeah, it would have been my first professional 15s contract, actually, technically.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
And
New
we
Orleans.
celebrated at Bourbon Street.
Here we go.
That's right.
Here we go. We'll find some footage somewhere and we'll put that in.
Hope not.
We're off to Singapore next week. You've been there.
We're not.
You're not.
Yep.
I am. But as a whole, as a series, we're off to Singapore. And you were there before. You played a bit of rugby there.
Yep.
What was your time like in Singapore?
Yeah, so 7s in Australia way back, so 2002 we're talking, used to be a pathway. So you didn't have a Super Rugby contract. So if you could perform well for 7s, that then potentially you get a Super Rugby contract, you perform well Super Rugby, you go to the Wallabies. So I started off, Hong Kong was one of my first tournaments. I think it was followed by Singapore. Singapore went first. But the beauty for us is because it was a pathway team, we were no good. So we were knocked out very early, and it was only 2 days back then. So we were done early on the Sunday. So we'd be sitting in their version of the South Stand, just enjoying the atmosphere. But as far as Singapore goes, 23 years ago, what I can remember is it was hot and clean. So I assume it's still hot and clean. But
Incredibly.
probably would have improved a lot.
Yeah, it's a fantastic city. It's full of amazing food, skyscrapers, incredibly clean, but the humidity is something else. It's probably the toughest tournament in terms of conditions when it comes to the heat. Like, how did you find playing in conditions at any time in your career when it was really hot? Like, was that harder or was it easier to play in something cold?
No, for me, the heat was better and more advantageous for me because I'm smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So the bigger boys would blow up a lot quicker. So it was something that even though it may have been tough, it was something that I look forward to because I felt like I had a bit of an advantage when normally I wouldn't. You know, being a tiny player that needs any advantage he can get, if big boys get tired, that's kind of what I thrived on. So I like the heat.
Just put the ball in behind, get them to turn and burn. What's the game plan there?
Oh, mate, honestly, it was just a grit down, hard on the mouth guard, and just try and get a win. We weren't very good. Like I said, it was a pathway for us, so we just work hard, have a lot of fun. I mean, I'd never travelled before, so even just getting on a plane, people complain. Well, I'm a big one now, but people complain about sitting in economy. I'm probably guilty as number one. I'd love to go in. My life goal is to go in, turn left as often as possible. If you're doing that, you're successful, I believe. I've not been so successful lately. But yeah, even just traveling, getting on a plane, going to Hong Kong. I still even remember the first time I got to Hong Kong, like the smell of it. And I still get that same kind of, it just reminds me of Hong Kong. Singapore, the same. Just being able to travel as a young kid. We weren't getting paid well for it, but that didn't worry me. Like the life experiences, and I just felt very very lucky to be able to do it.
Yeah. In terms of the sevens, is there anything either on the field or off the field that you think you'd like to see be brought into the 15s game, whether it's to do with the fans, the South Stand, or just the style of play, or anything that goes on with that?
Music, dead
Music?
time.
Yep.
Like here, if there's a little break in play, there's some music. There's someone dancing. You'll pan to the camera. It's almost like that NBA style where you're filling dead moments. I think the traditionalists probably won't love it, but the traditionalists will come to the game and they'll support the game because they enjoy the game. The people that we want to attract are those fringy, the people that sit on the fence and will just follow what's popular.
Yeah.
So I think if we can create, not as, like I understand Test rugby and 15s needs to be more serious, but if you could just make it more of a spectacle, whereas after a game of an hour and a half, you're like, oh, is that it? And you don't need to be watching it saying, what was that penalty for? What was the breakdown for? Like you could still go to the rugby without knowing everything and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Would be what I'd steal from the sevens.
I think it's great because I've been to a couple of 15s games, and then as soon as, say, something happens where they're going to a TMO and it's dead, you can start losing the crowd really quickly. People start to chat, they start to get up, they leave their seats, and then it kind of gets like almost flustered. It doesn't feel like people are within the game. But then I've been to a couple of games where they started to play the music, and you can just see people
get into it. It could be almost, oh, it's TMO dance off. Like that's the thing. Now we're going to pan to these two people to dance during that TMO. So people, while the refs and that are doing what they need to do, people that don't love rugby or know about that, care about it, okay, let's see who's the best dancer now.
Let's keep them
or something like that.
Yeah.
Kiss cam, something like that. There's always some awkward kiss cams.
Hulk Hogan out there? Or...
yeah, he's here every year.
Yeah, he's great.
And he's got it down pat. I think it was Tegan Levi getting interviewed yesterday on the big screen.
Yep.
And in the back, you just watch him. He would have distracted. No one would have heard a word that Tegan said because they're watching Hulk in the back. But that stuff, characters are good. South Stand, we went and mixed in the South Stand.
You were dressed up yesterday.
Yeah, I do like a dress up. Like, so that wasn't something that's unnatural for me. Wearing a polo feels more awkward than it does dressing up. But the hardest part about the South Stand, we turned up and we weren't at the same level as everyone else. And the intensity in that area it's hard to compete with. It's hard to stay with.
But it's a great experience to get.
Oh, it's unbelievable. But it's also like that tradition of sevens. Everyone talks about the South Stand. Now we're at this new Kaitak Stadium and everyone's wondering whether the South Stand will still be the same. It was amazing. It's awesome. And there is never any issues here like with sevens or any of the tournaments.
No.
Everyone carries on. It's a big party environment, but there's no problems. Everyone's in the right mood.
Totally.
And that's what I love about them.
Yeah, they come in, they have their fun, and then they go home and come back again the next day.
Yeah, rinse and repeat.
That's it. Well, speaking of big events, this summer, from a European point of view, winter down in Australia, we've got the Lions test coming down.
Yep.
What are your feelings, thoughts, hopes, sort of predictions around the whole thing? Because obviously Australia is going through what would be like a bit of a rebuild.
Yep.
And the Lions have the nations that have seemed to be going pretty well in certain aspects over the last couple of years. So how are you feeling about the whole tour?
Positive. I mean, my predictions will be 3-0 Australia. So the actual issue will be whether the Lions will make it a contest. That's the talk in Australia. That's our biggest concern from the Australian rugby point of view. I think seriously, before the end of season tour, I think everyone was thinking that it's a waste of time that the Lions tour Australia. You know, we weren't where we need to be, especially after the World Cup. It was probably, I'd say, the lowest that Australian rugby's kind of been at in its history. But Joe Schmidt's come in, he's brought in even Joseph Swalihi. Having those two come in and...
Schmidted in?
Yeah, well, they were schmitting at times. But it's just given mainstream media something positive to talk about. And that's all we really need because I think we've got the talent. We've got some great players there. It's just them players being able to be themselves. And we're seeing it with Super Rugby now. The 4 teams that we've got in Super Rugby, 4 of them are in the top 6.
Wow.
Whereas previously, probably the year before, you would have all 5 New Zealand teams fighting it off. And it was basically an NPC, but the Wallaby squads would compete. Whereas now we're seeing some great players that are comfortable and confident because of what Joe Schmidt's given them. He backed them, he believed in them, and he let them just express themselves. I think the big example for me was Len Ikitau.
Yep.
We call him Lenny Flickytail now after Twickenham. When he skipped on the outside, you hold the ball and try and recycle it normally. I guarantee if Eddie Jones was coach, he would have held it, wouldn't have had the confidence to flick. Out the back, flicked it, Jorgensen scores, and we beat England. But that just, for me, is a sign of what Joe's brought to the group, and he allows them to be themselves. So my hopes are obviously it goes to game 3, whichever way it is. I hope it's 1-1. As much as the fans will be so hard to tolerate if the Lions win one. I think if it gets to game 3, that's going to be a success for the sport and also for the Lions series. And getting Australian rugby super popular again.
Yeah.
You know, like one of our top sports. At the moment, I think it could be even the 5th or 6th one. So that's where our podcast, we're trying to promote the positivity around the game and how much the game means to a lot of people and get the fans back on board.
It's testing times, but like obviously Joe was in Ireland before and then he's come down to Australia. So seeing him go down, I kind of had a bit of a notion in terms of what he was going to be able to bring to that squad. And then straight away, as soon as he came in and then that England test to kick things off, it was like, well, this is exactly what, as someone who was involved in an Irish program, even from the outside, looking in, it's like that was expected from the likes of Joe Schmidt coming in. And it's fantastic to see. And like, what an amazing tour, once every 12 years down in Australia.
And that's also, like, while our results weren't amazing, we were playing Ireland, who at the time, and being Irish, you're constantly telling us you're number 1 in the world, but you're not. Like, we were close, we only just lost. There was a time we had a line out for a maul. If we score that, we win.
Yeah.
Obviously, you stop the maul. We weren't able to close out those small moments at the end of the game. Obviously, we beat England. Wales, we did a job on. Scotland, that's probably the best Scottish performance that I've seen in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And off the back of that performance, we actually thought they were going to win the Six Nations, or at least be a lot more
competitive.
Well,
not
up
competitive,
there too.
but like,
Well, in the last round, probably a chance to still win the Six Nations. So I don't think Australia was too far behind, but off the back of this Super Rugby, there's so much athletes out there. Like, even trying to pick a starting 15 now is tough. And if you've got people competing for spots, you're going to get the best out of them, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereas previously, they were almost picking themselves.
Yeah.
And while you don't want to get into a comfort zone, they probably did get a little bit comfortable. So yeah, my prediction is probably 3-0. I hope it's not. Hopefully the Lions can jag one, and then it becomes a competitive series.
So this section is called Life is Rarely a Straight Line, where we get to know more about the players and who has helped them throughout their career, through the ups and the downs. So Reneeqa, you are basically have been in 3 squads this season.
Yeah.
And you're a young player. You're going from one team to the next, learning new styles of play, playing with different players. How has that been, and who has been supporting you throughout the season?
It's been so great, but it's been so stressful as well. I've not really known where I'd be, if I'd be coming back on this series again, or if I'd be in camp, or with Bears as well. But it's been a great experience to be exposed to like other amazing players on the 7 series, as well as players in the Roses camp, and obviously Alona Mar coming to Bears as well, which has been unreal. Players that have supported me massively would be players like Simi Pam from Bears, Holly Aitchison, Amber Reid, and also Alona and Zuren from GB Sevens.
Yeah, you must be able to take so much on board.
Yeah.
You're being put into not the deep end per se, but you're being filled with so much information, so much experience, and then you just have to put it all together. But it looks like you have, and you've been playing some phenomenal rugby.
Thank you. Yeah, I've just tried to be a sponge, learning all the different playing styles. Roses and Bears play very different ways of rugby. So just getting used to both of them, being very comfortable, and obviously here it's extremely different. The pitch feels empty. So yeah, it's been great.
Have you been able to use the experience and the knowledge from one of the teams and transfer that into the other, or do you just feel it happens naturally?
I think a bit of both. Sevens definitely helps you when you're trying to develop in 15s as well. It's a great pathway for 15s. It's only going to make me a better player in the future. So definitely my fitness has improved, my handling, my 1-versus-1 on the edge has improved as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well done. And Marcus, you were emotional after Hong Kong. Your family were there.
Yes.
Everything that happened the season before, all those memories come flooding back. And who's been supporting you throughout, especially that part of the season last year where you broke your leg?
Yes, I think that it's really easy. It's my family. My mom and dad were there. They decided to come to support, to come to Hong Kong and Singapore to support me because they know it's a really tough tournament for us. Also for me personally, because of the injury that I got last year in the fibula. So yeah, they were there to support me every year. Not only when I started in here playing in the HSBC sevens, also when I was a kid playing in my club in Argentina. My dad took me to every place in Argentina, 1 hour away from car, 1 hour and a half. Also, my family, my sisters and my brothers. When I broke my fibula and I can't move from bed, they took me the food, they cooked me, bring me the ice. I think that my family were there always and helped me always. And all of, as you said before in the anthem, all of that things you think in the anthem, and that was one of the reasons that I was crying.
Well, it's amazing to have that support the whole way
Yes,
through.
yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, you're playing amazing rugby this season as well. So congratulations. I want to get a bit more into camp life. Reneeqa, you were doing a pre-tournament makeup tutorial on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Do all the girls come to you for tips, tricks? Do they raid your makeup bag, or how does that work when you're on tour with all the girls?
I think none of the girls asks for my makeup. But I think I'm doing Shiv's makeup on the last night, which will be fun. Her hair and makeup, really excited to do that. But I think as girls, like if we can push more content out like that to show that like we are still girly girls as well, even though we do hit each other around on a field for 14 or 80 minutes. I think it's only going to push the growth for the women's sport as well. So I think it's really special and very important that we do post stuff like that.
That's also like a really good chance to have some team bonding as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get to learn a lot more about the girls and see what works, see what they like, new techniques,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. Is there anything else that the girls get up to while you're on tour to be able to wind down? Like, do you have movie nights? Do you do anything like that?
Coffee, lot of coffee. The girls love finding a new coffee shop. Abby Brown, if you look at her Instagram story, she'll be rating every coffee shop that she goes to, which is fun.
Speaking of coffee, the Argentinians,
No,
a
no.
little cultural difference with the mate.
There's a fight there, but a lot of people love mate because I think that every Argentina, there is no Argentina that don't drink mate. Maybe some guys drink it sweet and some the mate as it is, but a lot of people also like coffee. The coffee culture in Argentina is growing a lot. In our team also it's really present. As Ren, we also go to every coffee shop that we find near the hotel every time we have a trip. Also, some of us have a machine, a barista machine, and we're trying doing latte art. So no, it's also we love coffee.
And when it comes to the mate, Gaston Revol was very kind. He got me my own kit that I have at home.
You drink it or no?
Yes, every now and
Yeah?
again. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. You go to the bathroom then.
Hey?
You go to the bathroom then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with the mate, it seems with you guys, you're more professional. You have a kit. You walk around with the hot water. You also
Yeah.
get like leather bags almost made to carry it around.
Yes.
Who takes care of the mate the best?
Oof, that's a tough question. I think that all of us are really good doing mate, but if I have to choose one, I think that between Agustín Fraga and Mateo Graciano, they do a really good mate and really aesthetic mate. It's
Ooh.
really aesthetic, really nice. But then you have guys like Tobias Wade that do a really good mate. Maybe it's not so aesthetic, but it's really good. and he's always with the mate. If you go to his room, he's drinking mate always. But then all of the guys do a really good mate. I can name you all of them, but I think that those three, I like to drink those three mates.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic part of the HSBC 7 Series, seeing all the cultures,
Yeah.
seeing all
Also,
of,
Uruguay, you
course.
drink a lot of mate. Yeah.
Mhm. And seeing the cultures, seeing all of the teams, even the personalities, all expressing themselves, showcasing themselves, and then everybody gets to learn from one another. The interest they pique. What's that?
Yes,
do you do
yes.
that?
Well, Gaston gave you a mate. I think that also Gaston to Rocco Speckman. Also, I gave one to Joshua Morra of Canada. Agustin gave it to Jaime Manteca of Spain. If anyone asks us or are interested in mate, of course we're going to bring him one from home and maybe also with his name or something like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you want one, you can ask me.
You heard it here first.
One at a time. I will not bring 5 mates to a trip. I don't have place in my luggage.
Great. Well, we're going to go into the community quickfire questions. So on Instagram yesterday, we asked the 7 Series community to ask questions that they want to know you guys better. Okay, so starting off, this is particularly interesting with the 2 back-to-backs. Loic, Instagram name. How do players recover so quickly, and especially with back-to-back tournaments?
I think it's important to mentally recover as well as physically. Obviously you've got your ice baths, pool, compression and stuff like that, but taking time for yourselves, unwinding, I think it's just as important.
I completely agree. Mentally, you have to maybe 1 or 2 days don't think about rugby. You can watch your matches again, but don't think about rugby so much. And then you have all the cold plunges, hot plunges, sauna, compression boots. Maybe do some gym to move around, some running, bicycle, but not so much. I think that with that you will recover. You will recover well.
Fantastic. RS Freeman asked, what is your diet like on tour?
Carbs. Yeah.
On tour, during the training days, during the preparation, more or less the same as in Argentina. But then, when you get near the tournament or the competition, the day before, the night before, and during the competitions, a lot of carbohydrate to have a lot of energy for the matches.
Carb loading.
Yeah, carb, pasta.
My best friend on tour, it was always carbs, as much as I could get.
Of course,
Yeah.
always honey, dates, banana. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, great. Marcus, for you, how much do you miss Rodri?
Oh, a lot. Maybe an Argentinian guy asked
I
that
think so.
one. No, a lot. He was he's a really good friend. We were roommates. Of course, we talk a lot in WhatsApp or video call. But yeah, I miss him a lot, especially inside the pitch. Where we had a really nice connection.
Reneeqa, from Rugby Singer, who is the most musically talented player in the team?
Grace Crompton by far. She's such like a little theatre kid. I think she actually might have studied it or went to a little theatre school when she was younger, but she loves her musicals. She loves singing in the gym, dancing around in the gym.
So is she just a singer, or is she into like playing instruments as well?
I'm not completely sure. I think just singing and dancing.
Can you play an instrument?
I used to play the guitar. I know some songs now.
Like a Spanish guitar, like flamenco style? Or
No. Normal. But not anymore.
And Renita9X has asked for both of you, how were you discovered as a rugby player? What was the path?
I was playing a sevens tournament with my club when I was 17 years old. I had before that I had a really good season in the 15s with my club, and I think that I don't know how it was, but I know that Agustin Pichot was in the middle of it. He's really friend with Santiago Mescora, one coach of my club of the first of the how you call it, the first team. also know Santi, so they told him about me. And after that sevens that I really played really good, I was called to the Youth Olympic. I was I was called to Buenos Aires 2018, where I played there with the under 18 sevens team, and after that I went to Pumitas, and after that to Le Puma 7.
I think I'm just an example of like the British pathway. I've done CV where I got picked up for England under 18s, done England under 20s as well for both years, and then got picked up with Bristol Bears, played some Prem rugby, and then Jiz found me, I think, from Prem and snatched me up, and now I'm here.
Fantastic. And speaking of the women's game, later this year we have the Women's Rugby World Cup. How do you see it going? Are you putting your foot forward for it as well?
It's very exciting. I'm glad that it's in England so that I can go to lots of the games. But I think hopefully I'd be wider squad. I don't think I'd get an opportunity there, but I can always manifest. Maybe 2026 could be the year for me with Roses, but not too sure yet.
You're in 3 different squads.
Yeah.
You're playing incredible rugby. I wouldn't worry too much right now and just keep the head down and enjoy everything that you're doing. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on HSBC Life on Tour. There is so much happening across the sevens over the coming weeks, and this week we have the HSBC Singapore Sevens. Thank you to Reneeqa from Team GB and Marcus from Argentina. We will see you again soon. Thank you.